Welcome back to From 9 to Mom.
where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos of motherhood. And today, Katie and I are really excited coming back after a long holiday break. And we have one of our great friends and coworkers, Nicole, on the call with us today. Nicole, thank you for coming and being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
Yeah, Nicole has been, I want you to talk a little bit about how you know both of us, because you knew us both separately before we all came together here at YPC. But also, I'm super excited to talk to you today because Nicole's always been like she's beautiful and fun friend, but now she's going to be our beautiful, fun mom friend too. And I think that's so cool. So give us a little bit about you,
Yes.
Nicole, and how you know us, and we'll get into that
Thanks.
after.
Yeah, so it was funny because I met your dad first at a country concert. We were on a tour bus together.
This
Tour
is where our
bus.
beautiful
It's
fun
amazing.
comes from.
And he
Doing
goes,
what,
wow, she'd
Nicole?
be good at working for me.
And I basically asked him if he was hiring.
I'm pretty sure he said you guys were like, it was you and Jenna or something, like dancing or twerking in the
Oh yeah,
the
that
bus.
was
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that was before I asked or after, but
Perfect.
It was part of the interview.
He knew
Yeah.
right then.
Yeah. And then Katie, we actually went to college together, but we didn't really interact with each other, or at least like know each other at college. But she started dating one of my friends from high school, and that's how we got to know each other. And then ironically, she started working at YPC like right when I started working.
I think we
Yeah.
all kind of
Around-
started
yeah.
working there together.
Within months of each other,
Yes.
we all did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be like 6 years.
Yeah,
That's
we're nuts.
crazy,
Mhm.
though, that we've all been working together that long.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
feels like
I
we've
don't-
known each other forever. And I just think it's been, Katie and I were pregnant at the same time, but it's been so fun because Nicole, you also don't know what the baby is. It's just been so fun, like
Yeah.
doing
Yeah, I
this
feel like
with
we need to rewind too. So Nicole's 37 weeks pregnant, first baby, unknown gender, which is like different than what Danielle and I did. And we just are giving you all the power for keep holding out this whole time not knowing. But how has that felt? Like that you just don't know? Like what are you looking forward to most?
I feel great. There's definitely a lot of pros and cons actually of not knowing the sex. Like for the baby shower, it's great because everyone's like really hesitant on buying you any clothes, which is awesome because I want to buy those clothes. That's the fun part. I don't want to buy the
Yeah.
tools and all that. So that's been really cool. Yeah, there's definitely moments where like I wish I knew, like when I'm going through Target and now all the bathing suits are
Yeah.
out, like how fun would it be to buy like a cute little girl's bathing suit if that's what we're having.
Right.
But that other than that, it's been fine. But I think having Anthony be the one to tell me the gender at delivery is going to be like a moment that he will cherish forever. So
Yeah.
I told him like, I'm doing this for you. So
Yeah, right?
you better
This is
appreciate
Well,
this.
you've made it this far. And I know we joked
Yeah.
like you did some of the tests. What are you feeling in your soul?
It's so funny because I'm literally 50-50 at all of those wives'
Yeah.
tales. But deep down inside, like I do feel like it might be a girl only because I've only dreamt of a girl and I can't even picture a boy. But all of my symptoms are boy. So that I'm
Yeah.
gravitating towards boy because
Yeah.
I know, Danielle, you know, I'm very prone to acne. Like I've always had acne, and this has been the 9 months, almost 9 months, that I have not broken out a single time in my entire life. So, and that's
Isn't
usually
that
like
the
a boy
best?
thing.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's the
know.
best part of like between that, like not getting your period. Like there's some big perks to pregnancy besides the whole like your body completely changing forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Nicole
part,
looks like
like-
an absolute goddess. I
I know.
remember Jordan saw your pictures and he was like, she looks like you looked at 18 weeks. And how many weeks did you take your pictures at?
Stop. It's
You
so
look
funny.
like stunning. And you feel
Oh my
great, which
God.
is, I'm
I
so
do.
glad for you.
Yeah.
But I do think that the symptoms you're saying, like boy, but either way, I have girl
Yeah.
clothes, Katie has boy clothes. You want to buy clothes, but
Yeah.
we could give you something at least between the two of us.
Well, that'll be the perfect gift for anyone that like comes to visit in that first month. They'll be able to bring you gender specific clothes. So
Have you
that'll be
bought
the gift.
anything, Nicole? Because I remember when I bought like one of each just in case.
Oh, not like color wise, but all neutral stuff. Yeah.
Did
Are
you
you
buy
packed for
like
the hospital?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
Dang.
ready. Let's go.
Get it, girl. What are you nervous? Are you nervous about anything? I know you mentioned the birth. How you feeling about being 3 weeks away?
Yeah, I'm definitely nervous about the pain. Like I'm not, I don't remember the last time I've ever broken anything, been hurt. I've never been to the hospital for myself, so that is definitely intimidating. But I always said that I would rather be put through like an emotional roller coaster because I do feel like very strong, like mentally, that I can get myself through anything and block things out. That's kind of like my superpower. It's also bad because it like out of sight, out of mind. Like it can be really bad actually for relationships.
Yeah, for this it's going to be great.
But for motherhood,
for this
you're
purpose,
prepped.
this is great. So I'm hoping that like my mental state will,
Yeah.
it is more mental from what I've seen, will help me through it. But I am like just so afraid of being just in pain. But I just keep telling myself like it's temporary. I'm not the first woman to give birth. Like it's been done before.
They've seen it
and
all.
it'll be fine. Yeah.
You will feel the pain, but I'm serious, and don't hate me to anyone who doesn't feel this way. I had terrible labors, but I cannot tell you what the pain felt like. Like I know that it was bad and I had no medication, so it is all mental, right?
Wow.
The pain is awful, and you know it's awful. I'm not trying to scare you or anything. Like you might ask to die a few times, but with your mental integrity and strength, you'll get through it. And when it's over, you have this little bundle of happiness.
It's like it all goes away instant as soon as that baby's there, which I was like amazed by the first time with Jack. Like, I couldn't believe how instantly it all went away. Like you literally are like, wow, this is terrible. And then
Nicole, did you pack diapers? This is one thing I have to tell you. Did you pack adult diapers in your bag?
For myself? Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Because the underwear, that's like the most traumatizing is like the after
we need
situation.
to have a thing on this though, because I did not wear one adult diaper the whole time. I did the Frida briefs and wore giant pads underneath.
Oh, I have those too.
I hated the diapers. They didn't.
I hated the pads. I felt like they wiggled all over the place. You want to know what it truly is? With Colton, I did wear those pads, and I'll never forget. I got into the elevator to go to my first after appointment, and an older woman in a wheelchair looked at my ass, and she said, "Honey, I can see your pad." And I was mortified.
What a little bitch,
that's when you turn around and you're like, I just had a kid, so shut up. Like,
I was like, yeah, he's like 3 days old, so that makes sense.
Like, if that's the worst thing that's happening in there, right? Like, great. Like but that is a good debate. I feel like people like either way, so it's good that you have both.
You'll be the tiebreaker for this crew, Nicole. That was like one thing I was like, please pack that in your bag, because it was, and bring up playlists. Do you have a push playlist?
Oh my gosh, no, but I definitely will.
I have one if you want me to share.
Send it to me. Does it have push? Push it.
Of course. My friends made it for me.
Can you imagine what Danielle's push list is like?
I didn't know it was on it. My friends made it for me, so it was a surprise. So I know what, and they updated it between the two kids. The same two girls did it for me. And I remember exactly what song I pushed the baby out to. So you can tell me what your song is. It'll be really fun. And then you always tell your baby, like, Colton came out to La Vie Boheme, which makes total sense from Rent. And Daisy came out to Brave. And I just like, I always play those songs for them, you know?
Danielle, you have the coolest friends. That is such a cool gift to give to someone too.
Well, I'm going to reshare. It was the best gift, and I'm going to reshare it with you. But hopefully, you only get through like 2 songs, because I hope you're not pushing.
I hope so. Put the
you should only need one song.
Who are you having in the room with you? Just Anthony? Are you inviting your mom, your sister? What's your plan?
Well, I try to get my sister's a nurse, so I try to get her to sign up for the doula certification. So she could just be in the room for me.
That's amazing.
She was a little late. It was a little late when we figured that out, that like, wait, there's a trick. Like, we can get past this. You can be in the room too.
Nicole, just have her fake it. Be like, I'm in my doula training. Like,
right.
Yeah, right. Like, you didn't even know.
So we were going to do that, but it didn't work out because of timing. But my mom's going to be in there. I don't think I could do it without my mom. She's like so calm. Both Anthony and my mom keep me calm. So I both need to have them in there, but it'll be good.
Yeah, that'll be, I loved having my mom in there, and so did Jordan. So I think Anthony also gives him a little bit of a...
She'll keep him calm too.
That's good. That's good.
But I see him being very I don't, like you said, he's a calming presence. He's always just like, what can I get you? What do you girls need? I feel like he's going to be like wiping your head.
He'll be happy, like literally helping the doctor.
Is he
like, Anthony,
is he cool with, is he good with like blood and that kind of thing? Like, is he going to cut the cord and stuff?
He really wants to, but his dad kind of scared him. He said that it felt like he did it once and he never did it again, and they have 3 kids. He's like, it's like tough calamari. He's like, and so Anthony's like, it's not bad. I can do that.
Only a bunch of Italians would be like, yeah, that calamari.
Like, really, of all things,
And
that's
everything
what you compare it to?
That's amazing. I can say I've never heard that before.
Really? Oh my God.
Neither have I, but I'll never unhear it.
Made me cry. And so Anthony was like, oh, that's not bad. So we actually have like calamari downstairs because he's making ceviche tonight. So I'm going to ask him, like, hey, this is your time to practice.
Please videotape it so that we can you know, side by side how he did
his practice for it.
I think what he would have a very hard time with is the epidural. If he looks at the needle, he's not good with needles. I mean,
they won't let him.
Nicole, he could faint. Yeah. No, they will let him.
They didn't let Ryan on he had to stay on the front side of me for both epidurals.
Actually, you're right, but he sees the needle.
They have to like sterilize the whole area. I mean, yeah, don't look at the tray that they wheel in. I mean, you shouldn't either. Don't look at anything.
I guess Mike almost passed out, so it could happen. Really? Yeah, I mean, don't look at the needle. Don't look at anything when they're telling you to do stuff. I mean, I like blood and stuff, but I didn't look down there because I knew I'd never feel the same about it again.
Yeah, I was like, I like blood, but I still couldn't see. Yeah,
she's like, I love this shit.
I do. I love, like, let me see your wound. Let me see that. I want to inspect it. Like, I love that shit. Yeah, but I cannot, like, become a warrior down there. Like, it's a battlefield. It's a war zone, and I just didn't want to see myself that way. But people say it's beautiful.
I felt so different the second time for my epidural. I was like, get me through this, and I've got it. This is in the bag as soon as I get the epidural. So, you know, you're planning on getting one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, give me all.
Do you have like a full-scale birth plan?
This podcast
not
is
really
pro drugs.
It's so unpredictable too. So like, I almost rather just not work myself up to like have a plan because then I'm gonna be upset if it doesn't go that way. Yeah. So to me, I'd rather just like know my options and then tell my mom and my sister and Anthony what those options are so that they're aware and like help me guide, you know, I guess advocate for myself for me if I can't, you know, for whatever reason. But
I think that's really smart. I didn't have a plan either for the same reason. You knew my options, but I didn't want to be disappointed if it didn't go the way I wanted, which I ended up being disappointed anyway the second time. But I never talked to my family about what I wanted, like you said, because Katie, you were in that situation where you had to be rushed off and Ryan was kind of the decision maker in those moments, right? So I think that's very smart that you shared that with all of them. Yeah, I think that's really good. So I know we've been talking a lot about the birth and the preparation, but we want people to learn a little bit from you because you and I have been going down this path together a little bit. You are in sales and you are heavily commission based, but you also have a salary and prepping for, you guys also own multiple, you have a lot that you and Anthony are entrepreneurs. You do a lot of stuff. So prepping financially and benefits wise for the birth, how are you feeling? Like, how did that work for you guys?
I feel like I'm older too. So I'm 34 and I feel like I've always been focused on like when we're ready financially. I want to feel somewhat prepared financially to have a baby so I can take that time home and not stress. So being in sales, it has allowed me to do that. And obviously like our other financial journeys that we've taken. But yeah, I've always been hesitant and scared just to not have enough, right? It's always been on top of mind. But I met with our financial advisor to kind of help us set ourselves up to make sure that like, Nicole, like you guys are fine. Don't worry about it. But still, I'm always like, it's not enough. Yeah. And it's only like 3 months. So I don't know why I'm freaking out.
But that's the truth. You talk to every single person because I was 32. Katie, you were younger. And you wait till you're in that financial place, but it's still a fear, right? You've
It
never
is.
not worked. You've
Yeah.
never not been receiving your regular income.
I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm like, what could I do on the side while the baby's sleeping, trying to like make money? And Anthony's
Nicole's
like,
you're gonna have the baby
you
wrapped
act
up
like I'm
on
not.
you.
Yeah. I'm like, what? I could probably make something online and sell it. And Anthony's like, you act like I'm not working. Like you act like, and that you're acting like you're not getting paid during this time.
Yes, right.
You know, but I've never not had a job or never had consistent income, you know, but I mean, it'll be fine. I'm excited for it to kind of see what I'm gonna get into too, and like actually
Definitely
relax.
your
for a second.
personality.
I know it would be nice if you just you're like, okay, let me just take this.
We're all gonna
this
get
time.
custom. The jewelry line's coming back.
Yeah,
I feel it.
Yeah, right.
Selena's coming back.
I actually loved your jewelry line, so I won't be upset if you make a few new pieces. You know.
Man, now you got me. My mind's going now. I'm excited.
No, definitely relax. Try to relax. Is there anything you wish you
Enjoy it.
knew before going in, like benefits wise, PTO, like advice you could give to the crew here?
Man, well, definitely don't have a baby in Florida or North Carolina. No offense, Danielle.
I know. I'm in South. I'm okay right now.
Yeah, you're in South. I didn't realize like that is one big perk of New York State because we moved back in December from Florida, and that I had no idea that Florida has absolutely no financial help for women taking maternity leave, which is really upsetting and eye-opening. But New York does. So that was really great to see. One little perk of New York, which is great.
One check.
So yeah, I had no idea. Really, all they give you is just protection of your job while you're away,
It's
but no financial
learning
help.
about that.
Yeah.
Honestly, because of you, I started researching some of the extra stuff. And Katie, I know you've had friends who are in family who are deep in the maternity world, like of benefits and PTO. And New York does a really good job, and they offer not the best job. I mean, other countries do it so much better than we do.
Sure.
But it's wild to think about the lack of support for women who are going through, like, it's not just having the baby. Your body is completely like hormonally, physically, like you're not ready to return to work. And I think Katie and I have both had different experiences with both kids of being our readiness factors of going back to work. And I'm glad that you're going to get a decent amount of time, but I always wish for every mom that it was more.
Right.
Yeah.
I know here in North Carolina, but it has nothing to do with the state. So let's say that Wells Fargo, my friend, he gets 6 months of paternity.
Whoa.
So his wife she got less than 12 weeks because she ended up having to be on bed rest. Got less than her 12 weeks after the baby, but he got 6 months, which is pretty like it's awesome. Honestly,
I'd be so pissed as a mom. No, you're like, my husband did nothing and he gets 6 months. Like, what?
She was, but she also is grateful for the daycare situation.
Well, right, yeah, because that's a whole nother part of it. But
and then as far as like what I wish I knew, which I am glad, like I wasn't even planned, but I actually didn't even know how much PTO I got at work. I don't know why. I forgot. I had no idea. And then Danielle was like, yeah, you have like X amount of weeks. I'm like, oh, well then like that comes in handy because after your 12 weeks, I'm thinking maybe I take like 2 days a week instead of like in like a week at a time. And then kind of break it up because I know my mom wants to take the baby one day. My mother-in-law wants to take the baby one day. So that might help us to get through the rest of the year at least. Until we figure out what to do next, because I know you're going to ask me like, have you looked into daycare? No, I have not. So I truly cannot wrap my head around putting the baby in daycare at 4 months. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong. I don't know how I would be able to do that. So I'm going to try my hardest to figure out an alternative, whether it's someone that comes to the house. That is probably going to be our route.
It's nice because you moved home, right? I kept saying, why are you doing this? Why? But like my parents moved to me, and Katie, my mom watches Daisy, and Colton didn't get into daycare till 8 months. She came here to watch him. Katie, you have your in-laws who do a lot of the watching. So Nicole, I know why now. your
Yeah.
family, having them there to be able to support you, even if it's not full time, will be such a huge blessing.
Even
Like,
if they're both willing to do 1 day a week, I mean, there's half the week covered,
Yeah.
really, like
Yeah.
it's
And Anthony's pretty flexible too, so maybe that could take a day, and then with my
Yeah.
PTO, like adding in a couple of days throughout, at least to the end of the year, to see how it goes. And who knows, maybe I'm going to be like, we need some space with the baby in daycare. I don't know.
I do think that I have so many friends who had no choice, right? And I was one of
Yeah,
those who
yeah.
really didn't. Like, at that time, my mom came to help me because I didn't have daycare with Colton, because I couldn't, because I was like, Nicole, I didn't tour. We were touring at like 32 weeks, and like, how all these women look like they're not pregnant because they were
And
1 day pregnant. I'm 32 weeks pregnant. They're like,
and they're laughing at you when you
Yes.
come in. They're like,
Good luck.
lady.
But I love that Nicole, no offense, Katie, but I love that Nicole's out here right now, because Katie went like, you're so planned. Nicole's like, yeah, I have no clue what I'm
I
doing.
could have a baby
my
in the
God.
next 2 weeks. I have no idea who's watching it.
I had a
We'll figure it
positive
out.
pregnancy test and I started touring places.
Yeah, no,
Oh my
me and Nicole.
Like it was like totally
Is
different.
it cultural? I don't know, Nicole, because you are like, it's fine. Someone will take it. Like,
Someone
yeah,
will
right.
take it. It's a
You're like-
baby. Who's not going to want to watch it?
I know, right? You're like,
put it in a basket on my parents' doorstep. It's gonna be
honestly,
fine.
bring the baby to the office here. We're
I
looking
know.
to start a
Nancy-
daycare in office.
Nancy, that's her next role. She's
Yeah.
definitely into watching the baby. No, your family will be so helpful. It's nice.
Yeah.
And
It's
I think
so
you'll know when
nice.
you're ready for date. Nothing really prepares you. You're never ready. Like,
No.
Colton's going to kindergarten and I'm not ready. Like, I've caught myself welling up in tears just thinking about the drop off, and I'm not that kind of person.
About preschool twice a week. I can't even handle that because we have family, but then our alternative is basically like she's basically family now, but it's an in-home babysitter. So we drop at her house and she only watches a set amount of kids. So it feels family. Like it doesn't feel like I'm dropping them at daycare. And
I like that.
she loves them like anything. It's not like the daycare setup. So we're very fortunate with that. But yeah, like at 4 months, I was bringing both kids to her. And that was like the only thing that I'm like, she's going to just soak up those snuggles all day. I know it's one person watching them. Like it helped from that. But like my sister was a wreck when she dropped him off at 4 months to daycare. Like she was a wreck. Like she's like, he doesn't, like, how does he know what's going on? Like he doesn't. Like
I know.
it's so hard. And
Yeah,
some
it's
people
so
have to do
sad.
it earlier than that.
I know.
Yeah, some people don't get maternity like at all.
They only get the
They
6
take their 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. Like I didn't know that going into it, honestly, until obviously you go through it and you're like, wait, you didn't get maternity leave, or you had to put your baby through daycare that early. And it's really sad. And then the financial expense of it, I had no idea how expensive things were. But
yeah, I could buy like another
feel
house
fortunate.
at the end.
That's why people are staying home now. Like it's just
because they're like, I mean, between 2 kids, you're spending what, 35, 37,000 a year.
A year.
Like
on daycare.
A kid
That's
on daycare.
insane. That's
so
insane.
if you're making like, let's say 50 grand, the average right now in New York, I think that's the average.
I think 60, like it's officially 60 is the average in New York, and it's like, so $37,000 is going to daycare.
Yeah, by the time taxes, there goes 30%. So you're left with like 10 grand. I might as well.
You want to know who ends up staying home
formula?
Are the people who are like the teachers, which is so sad. So many teachers end up staying home, which good for them. But for our kids, like that's like, it's a whole other discussion. But like it's the future of our children. Like we don't want to teach our kids because they are like, screw it, I'm not getting paid enough.
We'll have to get Ryan back on the podcast. He'll talk
Ryan's
about wanting
Ryan
his dream to be a stay-at-home dad. He's like, I'm waiting until that Katie can retire me.
Okay, this is a question because Jordan was always like, yeah, I'll be a stay-at-home dad. And I was like, absolutely not. I will resent you so much, which is so mean. Yeah. And he's like, you would rather I be a garbage man, like, which I think garbage men are hot and they make a lot of money.
They make a lot of money.
They do.
Don't taunt the garbage. He's like, but you'd rather I pick up garbage for $1 on the side of the street than stay home with our kids. I'm like, yes, because I want to stay home, but I can't. So no. So for you guys, Katie, obviously Ryan has talked about it. Did Anthony ever consider it?
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, you make too much money. You can work and I can be a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad.
He could be a stay-at-home mom.
And I could totally see him doing it. Like I always joke that he's a better housewife than I am. Like I'm the one that I would rather just hire a cleaner to come in, do the house because I'd rather spend my time with like him or the family or do stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm also not the best cleaner. I'm more of like a picker upper organizer. He's like a deep clean, bleach, gloves, like he's in it. So I can't do what a cleaner can do at such a short amount of time. To me, the 2 hours that it takes her to clean would take me 4 or 5 hours at
Time
the
is money.
level of that
We're
clean,
with
you know?
you.
So to me, it makes no sense. Now he's like such a better housewife than I am. Like he does our laundry, he cooks and cleans. I'm like, if
Amazing.
you stay home dad, I come in like, I'm good. This is great.
I'm
You
You
in.
get him
know?
a
I'm
number
in.
one housewife shirt. You
Yeah.
know,
He could start the Real Housewives of Rochester.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
he'd be really good on reality television.
Ryan would join instantly.
Wait,
I'm
what's
sure
that
there's a
one
whole
show?
crew.
Was it Grown Ups? That movie
Oh,
where
all the
no, one
dads.
of the guys like they like meet every morning and they go and take
The
their kids
walk. Yes.
the walk.
I've
And
never
it's
seen-
That's amazing.
It's like I could see Anthony
A
doing
daddy meetup to
Yeah.
do a big walk.
for sure.
that.
And there's
Mhm.
always one dad at all, like Daisy's dance class. There's the one dad who's always there, and it's like so funny because he's so into it and so wonderful. And you're like, man, daddy daycare might be amazing at this point in time.
And he's
But
so patient too. He's way more patient than I am, so I know he'd be like really good at home. But
you
it's
never
also
know.
been
You're really pitching him to us.
I
He
know.
could dream.
It has
It's
been nice
hard
though.
though.
I know.
We talked about it recently on one of our podcasts. Like staying at home with the kids is no joke. Like
Mm-mm.
you get through some of those times, and like Danielle was saying how we both had different experiences coming back to work. Like with Kelvin, I was like, I need to come back to work, like get me back. And it's just, you kind of find that out as you go. Like I go, like with the kids home now, I'm going a little nuts that they're around all the time and trying to focus and like feel like myself at work and be with the kids at home. Like it's really hard to segregate all that time. So
Yeah, I find it very difficult,
It's
and
hard.
especially when you're working remote, and then if the child is home, because Colton was never really home except during the middle of COVID, and you guys got videos of Mickey Mouse babysitting him in my house being an absolute train wreck, because that's all we had during COVID.
Yeah.
But like yesterday, my mom had to go home unexpectedly. I have a wonderful woman who came to babysit Daisy in the mornings, but I had to move all my meetings around. And yesterday, Katie and I had a call with one of our partner vendors at 3, and Daisy, come on, Katie, she would not shut up. Like when
she was
thought
just
she was running it. She's like
she was every time Danielle would talk,
gosh,
she was
so
talking.
cute.
And like luckily everyone was pretty much parents on the call. So like it is nice that like everyone can understand at this point. But yeah, she was trying to run the show. She was like, this is my meeting now.
Like, no, it's not your meeting. So Nicole, get prepared for that. If the baby is home with you, you're going to be on like pitches, and you're going to eventually, you're going to have a coworker.
That's the hardest part. I think one of my girlfriends does that, and the way that her house was set up at the time, she was in the basement, but it was like fully refinished. It was beautiful. But you still hear the baby crying too. So you get, sad that you can't tend to your baby and he's upstairs. So that would be really difficult. But also there's perks that, in between calls or meetings, like you can check on the baby and like hang out.
It's been
so there's
amazing.
definitely pros and cons. Yeah, there's pros and cons, but we'll just figure it out.
It's gonna happen.
There's
whether
not
you're
an
ready for it or not.
There's no turning back now.
What are you most excited for, like about the baby coming? Like, what's the first thing you want to do with the baby?
You know what's so weird is Anthony and I have been talking about it. Like, I don't know why we've been feeling this way, but we can't wait to travel with the baby. And I don't know where it's coming from. Like, we could easily travel whenever we want. And we really haven't. I mean, because we've been so busy with like renovating houses and moving. We moved 4 times in 4 years and renovated now our second house in 1 year. Two
That's
houses
crazy.
in 1 year. It's just like we're constantly doing stuff. So I think we're both so excited to like take the baby and like show it things, experience things, new cultures. Like we already are planning a trip to Italy in July. We have a trip planned in October to Florida. Like we just can't wait to just take this little thing around with us and travel with it. I feel like Danielle, you started traveling very quickly too with the baby.
I did.
And I think we're really excited about that. And then the other thing I'm really excited about is like the late night spa nights. So I have I'm going to have a whole routine and literally have the baby put through a whole day spa every night. I got the candles, I got the
Amazing.
essential oils.
The bougiest baby in all of
That's what-
America.
Bath every night. It's going to have a little routine, baby massages. I can't wait.
That's why
wait.
why she's picturing a girl. She's like, we are just going to be someone's going to come to the house. We're going to be pampered every night.
Pampered every night.
Yeah, you're like, I need a
I love
girl for that reason. But let me tell you, whatever it is, Colton will do anything I say. Where Daisy doesn't sit still for, she's me and
We already know.
reincarnated. She's completely psychotic. Colton will just sit there and relax and shop. But I highly suggest what you said. Do travel as much as you can, especially with one, because it's way easier with one. And I think spa nights will be so such a good memory.
Fun.
And then when
what else are you gonna do?
Then when they're 16, they're like, Mom, I need $400 because it's spa night. And you're gonna be like,
I need to replenish my spa night collection.
Start selling something. Make jewelry, kid.
Don't you know your mom had to do that when she was on maternity leave?
You better earn those bath bombs.
Earn those baths. Yep.
Colton loves bath bombs because he's a little bougie. And I'm like, dude, that was $6. Why? Go to work.
I absolutely love how
cutting
bougie
it in
Colton
half
is,
so it lasts longer.
Yeah. He
It's
is
ridiculous.
he is the perfect child for that. He loves everything.
Yeah, very, very bougie shopaholic. I mean, I dragged him out of Target last night.
It's so funny. I'm also very excited to see my mom as a grandmother. I think that is one big reason why I came home too. It kind of just hit us when we found out that we were pregnant. We had no intention of coming home, up to that point. No intention, if we're going to figure it out, we're going to pay for private schools, because, Florida doesn't have the best, whatever. Everyone's on our ass about it. And so when we saw that test, we both looked at each other and we were like, we got to go home. How could I keep this away from my mom when all she's wanted is to be a grandmother? I just felt so selfish. And I'm very lucky, we're both very lucky that our parents are here. Not everyone can say that, unfortunately. So how could we do that? Let's take advantage of the fact that we have a set of parents that truly want to be in our life, and we're not going to have them in our life with our baby.
Your mom
really
too.
sad,
Your relationship with your parents, both of your relationships with your parents are I know this is sappy, but Katie and I were both at your wedding. It's truly such a beautiful relationship. And I know, Nicole, you and your mom, were kind of this for, your whole, forever.
Yeah.
So I do think that's such a sweet thing to say, but also such a legitimate thing, because there is nothing better than watching your parents with
so
your
fun.
kids.
It's so fun to watch.
It's so funny. So my mom actually, unfortunately, was laid off a few months ago. And she's picked up out of nowhere. She's like, I think I want to watch kids. So she is helping this family of 3. They have twin boys and a girl, and the girl's 4 years old, and she's the sassiest little thing. And she'll send me pictures and videos of her, of my mom playing with the baby, painting rocks, making them smoothies. I'm like, I didn't even know you could make smoothies. You've never made a smoothie for us. She's baking. She's never baked us anything that I can't even think of other than a casserole. I'm like, look
it's
at
amazing.
you. She's downloading videos on how to make all these cute little, I forgot what it was, but she's got so many tricks up her sleeve, and I had no idea. I'm like, this is so cute because I've never seen this side of you. It's different when it's not your child.
Oh
yeah, because they can
they're
do
so
all
much
that
more
stuff.
spoiled. They're so much more spoiled than you ever were, and you're like, what?
Well, she was a single mom for so long too. She wasn't thinking about having fun with us. She was thinking about keeping us well fed and alive and safe.
It's such a different experience. Now she can enjoy it, and I know the getting laid off is unfortunate, but like you said, maybe this is an opportunity for her to be able to do what she really always probably did want to do. But
and it's amazing she's getting practice ahead of time, because I will say it's also so funny to with Jack, my family didn't really meet him till after he was a week old, so we already had a week with him, and we were in boot camp training in the NICU. Me and Ryan were we got this, pros, and then you hand that baby over to your parents who haven't been around an infant in like God knows
Forever.
who long, and they're like they freeze up and you just see everyone, and it's so funny to see, but it's so cute to watch them like start getting back into it and like relearn everything that they already did, because they kept us all alive. I mean, look at us.
Yeah.
That's what children, don't worry, they'll remind you all the time. You're alive, aren't you?
I raised
I let
3
you do
kids
this.
on my own. I'm gonna hear that a lot for sure.
Yeah, you will, but you know what? In those moments, you take it and you're like, "Yep, you did. You did." Sometimes you need to hear it. Sometimes you're gonna want to like turn around and like,
and they're gonna teach them things that you don't want them to teach. I currently have to give Jack a chocolate every single night because Papa likes chocolate. So it's their secret.
But it's not a secret. Nothing's
not
ever a secret.
Because Jack can't keep a secret to save his life.
So cute.
Yeah, like Nicole, I'm so excited for you. I just think you're going to be like such a good mom, and I feel like there's so much love in your family, but also your friend group. I just can't wait to see this little nugget come to the world and see how you guys grow.
I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to just like have a little bestie and hang out. And I think what's exciting too is teaching it things and seeing it learn and repeat. And we have plans to teach it Italian and English. So my mom and I are going to try our best to only speak Italian, which will be very difficult.
That is.
And then Anthony is going to speak English, but we can't speak English to each other. So he's going to learn a little bit too. So it is, I mean, we're going to try. I don't know if it's going to work out. We're going to try our best. So I am really excited about that.
You
will,
speak
especially
both,
if you're doing it. I have a friend that is doing that with Spanish, and she, so she only at home speaks Spanish to them. When they're out, she'll do English and, some different words, but she only speaks Spanish at home.
Can I move in?
Her husband is not.
Come on in. Anthony would love having you there. He's obsessed with you. He's like, Danielle is one of the funniest women I've ever met in my life.
No, Danielle's gonna become your live-in nanny.
Yeah, I'm gonna come with you guys. Me and Colton are doing Duolingo right now, and we can't say very much, but we're doing Italian just to kind of, I think, piss off Jordan a little bit because he wants us to learn Spanish. So I'm gonna come live with you, and I'll just learn and speak literally 4 words. Four words. That's all we got.
Hey, that's 4 more words that you knew. That's
right. Perfect. It's perfect. But yeah, Nicole, thank you so much for coming on today. I feel like everyone's gonna want you to come on more often.
Oh God.
We'll get you on post baby and get the whole scoop.
Actually, do you want to come on during labor? We'll go
live.
Do this all together. Go live. It'll be perfect.
We'll go live.
Live from the hospital.
Do affirmations for you, right? We can do this.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's exactly what you want. Like, shut up. But good luck. We'll have you on after, and I hope everybody has a great week. I guess it's time for us to clock out and clock back into the 9 to 5.
Bye.
Thank you guys. So great to see you.